20K you said?
Yeah, 20K.
He'll still have to do a tenure of 30 years at a 10% rate.
Wow, the rate is too
It's
high. Oh
pretty
my
damn
god.
high.
Do you have a tradition of buying a house? It's a prerequisite for
Alright.
getting married. Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Talk in the Park. So
Yes.
today we're going to be discussing about housing and properties.
Because it's a really big topic, so we want to narrow it down. Today, we only talk about the scenarios in my hometown Beijing and his hometown New Delhi.
So let's get right into it.
So, what's your first impression of affording a house in Delhi? Is that like something you cannot achieve, or is affordable with enough hard working?
I think it's affordable with enough hard working. That was my first impression. But I give you my idea because when I started working, rented out a place like a one-bedroom apartment. When I checked out the pricing, if I want to buy it, I was so shocked that effectively I need to save for at least 30 years so that
30
I can.
years.
If I want to own 100% of it in the same time, right? So it was definitely like, oh my god, it's gonna take so long. I thought it's very difficult, but I think it's approachable. You just have to be more strategic with the saving on how you kind of reach the goal. It's a long-term thing, definitely.
Yeah, similar feeling for me. I think the price is high, but with, let's say, 5 to 10 years work and savings, you can probably pay the down payment. Anyway, it's a long-term thingy. It's not something we will consider in the early stage of your life. Since we are from different city, we'd like to know how, generally speaking, the price is in that area. So let's exchange the basic information first.
Okay.
I prepare a map for you. It might be too abstract for you, but I can tell you these two districts, Haoyang plus Haidian, is almost the same size of Singapore.
Oh.
So let's just focus on the central area. That's where people normally live in
Okay.
Beijing. I prepare a more detailed map for you. You can understand the price by the color of every region. There are 6, let's say, circles in Beijing, and the closer to the center, the higher the price is. As for those deep orange area, the price is around 15K to 22K per square meter.
Okay.
And for the lighter orange area is around 8K to 12K per square meter. 7 color area is around 5 to 7K, and the green area is around 4K.
Oh my god, I feel like only the the outside area is the one that's affordable, right? 20K you said?
Yeah, 20K.
Like the
this
central area. That's
Yeah.
too much, I feel like.
I would say the price is probably almost the same as a condo in Singapore.
In Singapore, is it?
Yeah. So, for example, if you wanna afford the 70 square meter bedroom place, if it's in central area, I think it's around 1 to 2 million. So, how's the price in New Delhi?
Alright, got it. I'll show you the map, right? So just look at this. We've got the entire area. There's several districts. But in general, you can just take central as the middle point of it.
Oh.
And things beyond it is like the directional districts. Right? So you got north, south, west, east, southwest, and blah, blah, blah. So in general speaking, I've categorized them into 3 different portions. One is like the more affordable aspect. So if you talk about the west side or east side, these districts are more affordable,
Okay.
right? So it's basically the pricing could be per square meter. It might be 430 to 1300 Sing dollars per square meter.
Okay.
So it's like the more affordable range you can get in good property, even though the area might be smaller in this case, maybe 23 square meter.
A house is only 23 square meter.
It's a one-bedroom apartment, so
It's like a hotel room.
yeah, it's gonna be very small. It's like very compact.
Okay.
But this is the most affordable one. So the second one, so when you talk about, let's say, the southwestern section, you got the northern section, they're more in the middle range. So you can find like pricing around like maybe 1,000 to 1,700 Sing dollars per square meter.
Okay.
And then size is also like decent enough. Maybe you get like I think 50 to 50
bigger
plus kind of
houses.
square meter. Yeah, even for one bedroom apartment, right? You go in the center area or southern area. That's the posh area, the atas place.
Okay.
So that's where you get the more premium versions, like almost like a big studio kind of a place as well.
Okay.
There the pricing can be like close to 2K or more than 2.5K as well at some point
Okay.
for square meter. Yeah. So overall, that's the distinction we've got.
Normally, how big a size is for a 3-bedroom?
From my perspective, it's around 1,000 square feet.
That's around 90 square meter.
Okay.
I think for a 3-bedroom place in Beijing, for example, is also around 90 to 120 square meters.
Yeah, I feel like both our countries are very populated, right? So that's why the sizing is very restricted.
Talking about the price is not valid because we have to also consider how's people's salary in the city.
True.
So I also found some report released in the 3rd season of 2025 by MOM from Beijing about the salary of different industries. Here I'm talking about the median salary across the whole industry.
Got it.
So for AI and deep learning industries, the median salary is 7.6K, And for robotic algorithm related ones, it's around 5K. For finance, it's around 3.8K. Medical related is 2.8K. That's the medium number.
Okay.
And there are also life service, cultural tourism, green industry. There are a lot of other industries. Generally speaking, across all of the industries, the professional and technical personnel, their median salary is 2381 per month. Considering the bonus in China, I guess you can time this number 14 to get the yearly income. Because every year has 12 months, right? Everybody make out a 1 to 6 months bonus, so you can use this number times 14 to have the yearly income.
Oh, interesting.
To be honest, 2.3K per month is quite low compared to the price per square meter.
Yeah, that's true.
How's the salary in Delhi?
For my case, I guess one thing is essentially every fresher is going to earn around the range of maybe 3,000 to 6,000 Sing dollars per year.
Oh.
That's a year base, right?
Oh, but that's only for fresh graduate, right?
Yeah, most of the times, unless you're very like a topper or something, or you get a good offer, and just kind of keep them separate because they really bring down the overall
Okay, understand.
median. But apart from that, I think in general you can expect around 1.5K as a median salary, right, if you talk about it. So in IT, or if you talk about banking, even pharma industry, manufacturing, all these have around, that would be around 18,000 Sing dollars a year. 18,000 comes down to around 1.5K per month. That's the median for IT industry, which is like the biggest one we got restaurant, right? And the others as well, if you talk about consulting, that's the only one that has maybe an upper range on this one. That's around 24. So close to 2K almost. So that's pretty much it. There's also like a bit of a lower section. So if you talk about the media side or maybe education side, not as well paid as IT or maybe consulting. So it could go much lower to, let's say, maybe 10K or 12K a year. That's like 1K a month.
Oh.
I'm considering that there's no bonus or something, so just like a fixed in-hand salary kind of a stuff.
Understand.
So I guess I see the difference in terms of our salaries as well, but also in the square meter wise rate, right? It's like quite high for you.
Yes, that's true.
If I were to say in that scenario, it feels like the rates in India are more affordable for the salary per square meter.
Yeah, I agree. Now we talk about the price, talk about the salary. It might be still abstract for our audience to understand how affordable a house is. So we prepare two profiles describing normal people's life in these two cities.
Right.
So my profile is a 28 years old woman who has been working for 6 years.
What's her name?
I didn't prepare the name.
Okay. Her name is Molly.
Oh, Molly.
Randomly.
Okay. Okay. She has been working for 6 years, which means go to work directly after uni. And her current salary is 3.5K. That's above the median, but it's not super high income people. And the actual money she got every month is 2,658. That's after tax and CPF. By the way, CPF in China is 12%. So every month, 12% of your salary will go to a separate account, and the company will also pay 12%. And you cannot use it for any non-house or renting related things.
Got it.
Is she a single? That's also aligned with the current situation in Beijing. Like a lot of girls choose to stay single in this age, and she plans to buy a house by herself.
Wow, that's a lot of effort, to be honest.
Yes, she plans to buy a house in the city she's working in, and the house costs 600K. That gives her a house in the salmon color or light orange color area. So the size is around 60 square meters. I think that's good for one person.
For sole house, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And the down payment is 40%. That's 240K.
40% is a lot.
Yeah, this money comes from her own saving and support from family. So let's assume this part is settled. Now every month the CPF covers 840 Sing dollars, and 930 shoot from her personal account. In this case, the overall mortgage accounts for around 50% of her salary. That's almost the highest percentage she can afford.
That's true.
Yeah, if it's above this, bank will not lend. In this case, she has to pay mortgage for 25 years to get the house. So for this 25 years, she has to have a job, pay the mortgage to bank every month.
Okay.
So it's a real long-term thingy.
Got it. And I'm surprised actually, because even after paying 40% down payment, she's still in the 50% of EMI zone, right?
Yes.
That's Pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's because the interest rate from bank is quite high, on 4%.
I feel like 25 years is a long commitment, right?
Really?
And she's paying 50% of her salary.
Yes.
I'm assuming 50% for expenses, so she won't have much savings by herself then.
That's true. I agree.
Um,
It doesn't consider like her salary would increase in the future.
All right, that's
Yeah, probably he can afford more, he can pay more every month.
What if AI replaces her job?
And that's also possible.
True, I feel like taking mortgage in this time and age is a bit of a risk, right?
I agree.
Right, but then anyway, I understand it's pretty difficult to get one in China as well.
Not easy.
Anyway, I talk about my persona then. My cute persona is called Mr. Bholu.
Hulu.
Bholu is like innocent, so that's why
Okay.
I don't know why I like the name. Anyway, he's a software engineer working in Delhi or maybe outskirts of Delhi. 32 years old, married, has one kid.
Okay.
Normal around that age.
Okay.
Well, average he's earning like 20 lakh per year, which is similar to 30,000 Sing dollars.
30K Sing dollar per
30K
year. Okay.
In hand after deductions of tax and then everything, I think you get something around 2.2K Sing dollars every month.
Okay.
So that's not too bad. I think it's similar to the median that you mentioned for your side as well. Very high in terms of the median that I gave earlier, like 1.5K for IT industry, right? So he's doing
Yes.
good. He's not doing bad. What he wants is like a mid-range 2-bedroom apartment close to the outskirts of Delhi.
Yes.
So he's looking for a good place where there's enough amenities for the kids, like MRTs and malls and everything. So that would be costing him around 1.5 crores in rupees, which is around 225K Sing dollars. Yeah, so the price is much different. Not like 1 or 2 million, but it's 225K in this scenario.
Okay.
But for our poor Bolu to buy this place, he'll have to put in a heavy down payment. At least, I guess, something around 40 to 50% as well.
Okay.
Could be higher. So effectively, to buy this place, he'll have to put down a down payment of 125K Sing dollars.
Oh.
That's around 50% of the actual price. Because if even when I tell you that he pays down 125K or something initially, he'll still have to do a tenure of 30 years at a 10% rate.
Wow, the rate is too
It's
high. Oh
really
my
damn
god.
high in India.
Interest rate is too high.
That's true.
4% is right off for me. It's 10% for you. Oh my god.
But for us, there's a market forces, right? So we have higher pay on FD as well. FDs also pay like 6 to 7% sometimes.
Oh.
So maybe it's just because of that that I'm saying.
okay. Okay.
But either way, that still leads to a monthly EMI or installment of $950.
That's pretty much half.
Yeah, and that's only possible when he's putting in a very huge sum in the beginning. So pretty much he's short of options. You stay on rent and you save for maybe a decade or something to be able to put down the heavy down payment. To the
Question.
Hi.
He's the only one contributing to the house. His
Ah,
wife is not
true.
contributing.
So my persona, Mr. Bolu, at least, he's from a more traditional side. So maybe the wife is the homemaker, taking care of kids and the family and everything. So that's the
okay.
scenario I went with. Definitely, it's more of a thing now that both the parents are working like a double income family. That makes it easier to afford the EMI, right?
True,
Like you
I
can
agree.
split the interest that you're paying. And maybe just from my interest rate. So the next question, the scenario that I would be asking, are there any government supports or subsidies that you can kind of get to afford this kind of a housing earlier?
I would say yes, but the requirement is quite strict. It's like only for those super low income people can get the house. And every person cannot get more than 15 square meters per person. So for example, for a 3 people family, the maximum square meters they can buy in lower price is 45 square meters.
Oh, but the rest of them they can buy extra, but they need to pay the actual rate.
I guess yes.
Not bad.
And the income is less than K per family for the whole year.
Everyone combined.
Oh,
Oh, that's.
it's too strict.
I see. I think it's similar to what we have in Delhi. We have something called economically weaker section, EWS. So effectively, someone who's below a certain threshold of income, they get more subsidized rate. I was mentioning you that the pricing was pretty cheap, like 400 Sing dollars for 1 square meter. That kind of a rate is available for such classes, or basically someone who's kind of below the threshold.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's maybe one of them. Mostly, apart from that, the government mostly kind of provides grants and stuff for factory workers. And, if you're
Okay.
kind of setting up a place rather than residential, that's where more support goes from the government, not really on the residential aspect.
Oh, I see. So I'm curious, do you have a tradition of buying a house? For Chinese, I think house is pretty much equals to security.
Okay.
In Beijing, at least, if you don't have a house, your kid cannot go to school easily, and you cannot take exam. You cannot go to high school or cannot go to college by taking exam in this city.
They can live with the family, right? Like grandparents or their house or something. They need to have a separate house.
Oh, that's true. The school you can go to depends on where do you live. If your grandparents is living far from the city center, you may not go to a good school. Where do you live decides what school can you go to.
I see.
So it's highly related. We call them school-oriented residentials.
School-oriented residence.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So apart from this, for Chinese, when two people are getting married, house is pretty much a necessity. I would say most of
So
couple
rich.
most of couple would consider having a separate house instead of living with their parents.
Okay.
That's common, I think.
So
for
that's an
once.
expectation that you normally get it as a part of a wedding gift.
Not exactly a wedding gift, but
Okay.
it's a prerequisite for
Alright.
getting married. I guess it has something to do with the history because back in 1950s, most of the people in China or Beijing are doing farmings or blue-collar job.
Okay.
During that stage, people construct their own house. Just that as long as they have the land, they can construct a house by themselves, just building bungalows.
All right.
And after that, people got more opportunities for education. They study and they, let's say they graduate from high school, so they are employed by a state-owned company. By the way, China is a communism country. After the Republic of China, all of the properties belongs to the country. So most of the flats, condos were built by state-owned companies. So as long as you are employed by this company, you are entitled to be assigned an apartment to live. So that's why no matter girls or boys, they would love to study hard to be employed by a company, then they may get a house by themselves. That's when they started to move out of the original family
Got it.
from the bungalows. At the beginning of 1990s, this policy was abolished. So people would buy the house from the company. So they personalize the house by themselves.
Got it.
That's why even in 1990s, people are living probably separately from their parents. So
Okay.
we have a tradition of have their own house. So do you have this tradition? Do you feel like buying house is in the common path of your growth?
It's always good to have this kind of thing, right? So I'll tell you the traditional approach. We've always had like a joint family thing in India, right? So, I mean, traditionally speaking, at least. So we don't have this obligation to have a new house as soon as you're married. So that's very normal to live with your parents in like multiple generations. Eventually, yeah, of course, you branch off, you start your own family, maybe, and be the grandfather of that family or something, right? But traditionally speaking, we don't have this implication that you have to have a separate house for the young couple. But I mean, that being said, more recently, I guess we have started evolving towards a more Western approach, like a nuclear family
Okay.
approach. So people move out, they rent it out, or maybe they buy it
Okay.
eventually through inheritance or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's starting to transition in that side now. But we don't really have this obligation as in part of the marriage, like you mentioned, prerequisite. Not really.
Okay.
If either of the side of the family are okay with it and they're affluent enough, then yes, they can buy something and for the new couple as a blessing, but not normal.
Oh.
So I understand how the poor Molly was doing this in this scenario. But in general, how do people afford a house? What's their tactic or what strategy?
Just now we mentioned like how high the price is, how low the salary is, and how people's strong willingness to buy a house. Then it comes to the question, how can we afford a house?
Right.
So in Beijing, there are 4 typical cases. The first one is a family got extra house, so the new couple can move in directly. And the second one is one set of the family pays the down payment,
Okay.
and the couple pays the mortgage. And in this case, of course, the ownership still belongs to one side of the family.
Okay.
And the third case is both sides hold the down payment together and the couple pays the mortgage.
Who owns the place in that scenario?
Both.
Both sides of the family.
Both.
Or-
I think in China you can note down how much percent you contribute to the house. So in the future you can split it.
Got it.
And the last case is the couple buy the house by themselves and pay the mortgage. But it's really rare. It's
Right.
really rare that people are so successful that they can afford the house by themselves and pay the mortgage.
Interesting.
How's the scenario in Delhi?
Oh, I think most of the folks would be, I guess mortgage is the go-to. So you save up money or you ask your parents for any sort of a support to kind of get there. But beyond that, so traditionally you talk about heritage stuff, right? So inheritance-wise, having a property passed down is one of the main assets that we give as family. So, I mean, apart from maybe jewelry and stuff, it's mostly properties and assets. If, let's say, your parents pass you down some property, you have 2 choices. Either you can move in there, so essentially you don't really have to worry about buying any other place, right? If you're okay with that. Or some people kind of just sell that off, get the money out of it,
Okay.
and use that to kind of support their down payment or basically purchasing a
Okay.
better place or something like that. So in the end, yes, it's either inheritance based or it's going to be take the support or you save for it yourself to get a mortgage.
Oh.
It's very rarely that you'll be able to afford a place by yourself. I mean, 100% without any installments and stuff. That's how mostly people afford. One more strategy, I think, I don't know if it's normal for you guys as well, but you know how if a project is being constructed, let's say an HDB is being constructed in front of you,
Yes.
the contractor kind of has certain inventory of the
Mm.
houses and he can kind of put you an early valuation of the
BTO.
property. Okay, yeah, BTO. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. We have this kind of a way in India as well, and essentially that makes it easier for you to buy the property. You have to pay 100% of the amount, but it has to be in multiple installments. So let's say you have to pay 20% down payment in the first section, 30% or 40% of it in 3 years, and the remaining of it when the project is constructed.
Okay.
So this way, even though you're paying the full amount, but the valuation is still lower than the market price.
Okay, so which means in, let's say, 5 years, the price of the house may grow up. So it's like an investment for you.
Yeah, it's like a discount as well if you think of it that way, right?
And the house is in a developing area, so it will be less than the place you are living.
I think what's beneficial in Delhi as well is quite a few places are developing, even outskirts of Delhi or maybe like the NCR area, National Capital Region. So it's like, you know, have MRTs, expressways, even amusement parks and exhibition halls being built at this point. So essentially when you buy a BTO, it's because of these expressways, amenities that are coming to the play, the valuation will definitely be increasing. It's more likely to increase than to decrease. Only
Okay.
drawback is, of course, maybe if the contractor is not trustworthy, but in that scenario, you don't really want to be putting into that, right? So you want to have a contractor who's built a lot of projects and has good reputation and stuff. I heard from one of my family friends that they purchased a place for maybe at 1K Sing dollars per square meter, and it went up to 3K.
Oh,
So it's
that's
like
so
thrice
good.
thrice the value at that point, right? 200% profit. So not, I know it's really a good deal if you're able to have that money to
Yeah.
put into it in the project.
So in this case, you will rent place to live, and you will save the down payment to some developing area, make it as an investment.
Eventually you can move in and you don't really have to rent it. I mean, you can live with your parents, depends on how it is, right?
Oh,
It's
okay.
normal for us to do that as well.
I understand. Okay, quite different.
So from an overall point of view, I think I understand. But what's the new generation's thinking in this scenario? Do they really feel like buying a property is a good investment?
I would say nowadays people are building the idea of renting a place for their entire life. Because in most cases, big cities got more job opportunities, so youngsters would love to move to these big cities. Because of the high price and the salary is really hard to afford, and people don't want to restrict their life in a house. So they start to build this idea of rent a place. But a majority, I would say, they will still love to have their own property.
If someone is moving a lot, like I'm considering, because in India also a lot of youngsters are remote and they're basically moving a lot from here and there. Isn't it like a bit restricting that you have a property in your hometown, but you're living elsewhere, so you're going to be paying rent anyway?
Yes, if a person moves a lot for job opportunities, I think it's not a good idea to own a house because they will not really use the house, right? So nowadays, I think people from China don't consider doing investment in house that much. They will normally buy to live.
I think it's similar for the youngsters in India. A lot of them are moving, and I think with a lot of online education available on, you know, financial literacy and stuff, I think people have started to do the buy versus rent analysis by themselves.
Yes.
But if we talk about Mr. Bolu, even if he had kind of stayed on rent in a maybe a similar range of HDB, he would have been able to twice his lifetime earnings by investing the offset amount
Oh.
into any sort of an investment opportunities and stuff, using the, let's say, EMI amount and the down payment amount to be basically paying the rent and using the offset to invest.
But it's positive idea, right? He may not always do well in investment.
It requires certain level of skills before you actually dive into it. It's always good to have a property because you feel like there's something to fall back on.
Yes.
But in terms of the actual finances, if you kind of look into it, more often than not, renting might have actually be a better alternative.
Oh. Okay.
Again, if you have the resources, the support, something, buy it, sure. And if you don't, as long as you do your due diligence and you feel like, yeah, buying is going to be worth the investment, sure, can.
So do you pay attention to the house market? Do you read the news related to housing?
The overall trend, personally, no, because right now I'm not really looking to buy at this
Okay.
point, right? But my dad does definitely do that. Effectively, it's just kind of understanding where the projects are coming up, which area is up and coming, where you can invest early on and stuff like that. So that's kind of good. The positive side is that overall the housing market, it has an upward trend at the moment where you can kind of benefit from it. So it's a good investment if you have enough money.
I
Like
was
you
quite lucky because, as I know, for the past at least 3 years, there are so many news from house market. For example, Beijing, Shanghai, the house price dropped by 30%.
30%.
Yeah, that's a lot, right? But some people already lost their down payment.
Why did the price drop so much?
There are so many reasons for this. Reason why is nowadays youngsters don't have intention to have a kid.
Okay.
So they don't need to buy a house to let the kid go to good schools.
Mm.
So it reduces their willingness to buy a house.
Okay.
Second reason is the market changes. People don't feel the market as promising as before. So people would love to have more liquid cash instead of put it in a house. They get more security by holding the money in their hand. So the demand decrease.
Oh, I see.
There are a lot of news showing up saying, for example, you've been paying mortgage for 5 years and you still have a lot of money owing the bank. If you sell the house at this moment, that money is even not enough for you to repay the bank. So it's really a sad thing.
And basically, you're paying more than the
Yes.
valuation is currently and
Yes.
effectively draining your money, right?
Yes, so that's also the reason people are slowing down their pace to buy a place because they don't know how the market will be like. For example, Beijing, Shanghai, they are quite developed. If a new project is constructing, I don't think the price would increase that much because, for example, in the central area, all the MRTs are already done. The new MRTs are really far from the city center,
Okay.
which means less people would love to travel so much from there to the city center, which also restrict the increment, the potential of the house.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I guess you're closer to a more developed market rather than
Yes.
developing market. And you mentioned the price is dropping, so I wouldn't really be investing at all unless, like you mentioned, it's a necessity. So it's more like a obligation at that point in case you want to start a family and
Yes.
have a certain lifestyle in a city.
It's just experiencing a fluctuation at this moment.
I see.
And considering the saturation of the market, less people would love to buy.
I understand. It's our opinions at this point based on whatever we could figure out from our
Yes.
life experiences. But not too bad. I think I understand your point of view now.
Oh,
Maybe my most important question, just as relevant to me too, what is your ideal lifestyle in terms of living in rent or buying? What do you prefer to do?
for me, honestly, a house definitely gives me security. The most attractive part for me is decorating it whatever I want. But considering being restricted by the house for 20 years, the burden is so much. I don't want to carry the burden. I don't think the happiness from owning a house offsets this mental pressure.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have a feeling I cannot lose my job for 20 years. So I'm more comfortable with renting at this moment. Before really settling down in one city, I think renting is the best choice.
I think similar for me. I feel like there's a lot of uncertainties in the market at the moment, and you never know how long your job is going to be there. So I feel it's a good time to focus more on maybe growing your wealth, but not on making such investment which may turn out to be a liability rather than asset. And again, I'm not really the most financially prudent in this scenario. In fact,
Yes.
maybe the least ones. But it doesn't make sense to put in this kind of an commitment
Yes.
when you're not really sure whether you'll be able to kind of afford it. Right? That's the main point.
So that's our idea regarding housing in big cities. And what's your idea and how's the scenario in your city? You can share your experience in the comment.
All right.
That's all about this video. See you in next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.